Hello everyone, it's James Chamberlain, and today I present to you guys a video that I think is going to be really helpful for a lot of you guys and will help you guys push your creativity further and really have a good time and be creative. Without any further ado, I present to you guys lots of handy tips and tricks for saving money, reducing lag, and all sorts of other important things for building in games like Bloxburg and RoVille. Without any further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, here we are in Bloxburg. I've decided to go ahead and use Welcome to Bloxburg for the purpose of this tutorial, but the same information and tricks apply to RoVille because the building systems in Bloxburg and RoVille are extremely similar. So these tips and tricks will apply in RoVille as well. Let's go ahead and just spawn in the hide and seek house here. Let's just go ahead and spawn right over here. Okay, so guys, the first trick here is one that I highly recommend you do, especially if you're not playing on like a really good PC. This is a trick I make use of all the time, and that go into your RoBlox settings, go to your settings right here, change your graphics to manual if you're on automatic, and turn them all the way down. You really do not need a very far render distance when you're building, and your FPS should improve a fair bit when you do this, and will just make working on the UIs in build mode a whole lot easier. Clicking things and just moving your cursor around will be a lot faster and snappier than if you had your graphics all the way up. The second tip is one that actually only works in Bloxburg, but that is using Control-Z. Say I place a wall right here and it was a mistake and I didn't mean to, you can press undo, or to go even faster, you can actually press Control and Z on your keyboard, and that's just a very quick way of doing that. Another trick that I highly recommend is say you've painted an object a specific way and you got it exactly how you want it, but you need multiple of them in your house. Like for example guys, say you have something like a bathroom sink painted a certain way and you want to make all of your bathroom sinks in the house look the exact same and you really like the way you have it painted. An example of this next trick is say you have like a bathroom sink painted a certain way or some object in your house painted a certain way and you want all of the other iterations of that object in your house painted the exact same way. Like for instance this bathroom sink here, instead of placing another sink of the exact same type and then going to your paint tool, you can just click the cloner right here, click that, click the sink, and you will get the exact same sink put right there. Another cool thing about this trick is that it actually saves you money, because in order to place this sink and put down another sink, it would cost $160, which is what this specific sink costs, and then it would cost another $5 to $30 depending on how you wanted to paint it. Whereas with this method, all you have to do is pay the original price the unpainted version of the item costs, which is really neat. This trick also works with floors or anything like that as well. It works with pretty much any object in the game, so do keep that in mind and try to utilize this trick as much as you can. Another trick is keyboard shortcuts. Now, unfortunately, this is one of those ones that there is no counterpart to this tool or method right now in RoVille, unfortunately. One good example of this is pressing the delete key on your keyboard to access the trash delete tool right here. I'm using a 60% keyboard that I custom built, so I do not have a delete key on my board, but if you do have a delete key, it will actually enable this tool, as well as disable it if you press it again. In addition, the key to activate the cloning tool that I just showed you guys, press C on your keyboard, and as you can see, it is now activated. Another keyboard shortcut, which really doesn't make sense but is really helpful, is if you press F on your keyboard, you can access the paint. Another great tip is if say you're holding an item somewhere and you really don't want to move it, instead of right-clicking your mouse and moving your mouse, you can use the Q and E keys to move right and left without actually moving your mouse, so that you can change your camera around without being forced to move your mouse and change the position of the object you want to place. Now guys, in terms of saving money, there are many different things you can do in the game to try to save your money if you don't want to waste objects and things. And that includes, if there's an item that you don't like exactly where you placed it, but you want to keep that item, you can always just click on it and move it. Like, say I didn't like the way I placed a window around here. This is actually right, but say I didn't, I could go ahead and actually move that item. One other thing I highly recommend you take advantage of here in Bloxburg, as well as in RoVille through keyboard shortcuts, is if, say, you clicked on an item and then you realized you didn't actually want to move it from where it was, you can always click cancel, and in RoVille, you want to actually go ahead and click X to finish that and to cancel it. In RoVille, you can just press X and that'll automatically cancel. Another trick is, if say you're placing a floor or a roof or something like that, and say you want to go ahead and place a floor. I'm just using manual placement here. But say I didn't like the way I placed a floor, I placed it crooked or something, and I didn't want to have to finish it and then delete it or undo it to get rid of it. What you can actually do is in Bloxburg, just press F, and that'll pull you into your paint tool and just get rid of it, and that's a quick way of canceling it. In RoVille, this trick works as well. However, in RoVille, you want to be pressing X to do it. It's really tricky because in RoVille, F is to finalize in place, and in Bloxburg, F is to cancel and switch to paint tool. So it's really, really tricky. Just remember, in RoVille, it's X, in Bloxburg, it's F. Okay, guys, another building trick comes here in Bloxburg when it comes to swimming pools. And that is, just build the 3-foot deep pool. If you go into build and you go into pools, thanks to more updates in Bloxburg, you can pick different pools. And I would just build a shallow pool because the pools themselves behave no differently at all. So wasting money on a deeper pool really does nothing. Another thing you want to make sure you're taking advantage of right over here is the time of day selector in the Bloxburg build mode. RoVille doesn't have one of these, and they seriously need to add one because it is the most amazing tool ever. But click this and you can actually change the time of day. So say you want to see like how the lighting works in your house at night, you can just change it to night here and then see what the lighting in your house looks like and make sure you are satisfied with the way your lighting looks. One other thing is you can change it to A. That just basically means that it's going to show exactly how it is in Bloxburg automatically. You can change it to partial day, afternoon, or you can just change it to full day right there. One other awesome trick that I recommend that you can actually do here in Bloxburg, and I believe you also can to an extent in RoVille as well, is say you want to build lowered or raised floors, or say you want to build mountains in terrain. Go into your build, click on roof, and you can actually build some amazing creations such as raised floors using the flat roof and using different types of slope roofs. If you paint them with a dirt texture or a rock texture, you can make some really, really good looking mountains, as I have back over here in the back of the house. Here is another trick related to saving money, and this one is actually for when you're at work and grinding. Now, I'm not in a very good mood to be displaying it, as you can see here, but when you're grinding, try to work with the highest stats you can. Try to get all of your stats up in the green. I know I'm showing the exact opposite, but try to get your stats here in the green. Maybe put in a mood boosting station in your house that consists of a coffee maker, chair, and TV, as well as a cooler so you can eat, and just use that when you're grinding. Even make a separate plot and just put a mood boosting station on there, and that way your bills don't cost anywhere near as much, so you're not stuck paying bills for a large house when you're trying to grind, because that will cut into your profits, of course. Another trick I have for you guys, if you want to be really detailed when building, is go out of build mode, maybe turn your graphics back up, and go inside your house and take a look at it for yourself to make sure everything is completely how you want it. Because in build mode, it's just harder to get those good camera angles, unlike going inside and being in proper first-person view. Another trick I have for you guys when loading into RoVille and Bloxburg is when you go to load your plot, if you have the Game Pass, go ahead and try to pick a plot that is not next to lots of other houses, especially big ones, because that should reduce lag by a little bit, since large mansions in this game can cause you additional lag. So try and stay away from other houses when building for a more frustration-free building experience. Another great, really, really good trick that can save you lots of money here in Bloxburg is buying cheaper items and then painting them to look nice and expensive. Say I go here and I want to put in like a kitchen counter and I want to save money, but I want to make a good looking one. You can use something like the shaker counter here and just place down a shaker counter and then compare that to one of these beautiful looking Craftsman counters right over here. As you can see there, the shaker counter and the Craftsman, aside from their paint, look quite similar. And the Craftsman counter actually costs a fair amount more. So what you can do to save money is you can actually go ahead and paint a cheaper counter like the shaker counter, or for that matter, any object you want to use a cheaper version of and make it look nicer. You can go ahead and paint that version of it and try to make it look nicer. So say I want to change the countertop, go to my materials, maybe we'll use some type of a granite material right there, and that instantly looks a whole lot pricier. We can go ahead and change the coloration of it to give it a nice, good looking color. Right over there, a nice brown looking color. And then you can also go ahead and just change all your colorations here to whatever you want. You can give this, say, a wood color if that's kind of what you want to go for. And you can really make this look really, really good and look almost like a more expensive item simply by going ahead and painting things yourself. One other trick is, as you can see, I'm running low on money here. If you want to save your money and you know you're going to need an item later, rather than just deleting it and then getting rid of it and having to replace it and pay to replace it, you can always just store it and hide it somewhere else out. Say, just hide it in the front or back of your house, somewhere where it's not in the way, and continue to build while just leaving those items out there. Okay, another really, really great tip to make some absolutely awesome and amazing creations is build with a friend. If you have a friend you know you can really, really trust well, give them co-owner on your plot. And I don't just mean somebody you like met today, even if they seem super nice. Somebody who doesn't have a bad reputation, isn't known as a thief or somebody that likes to cause trouble. Somebody like that who you know is a super close friend and you really think you can trust. You can always enable co-owner for them, and if they're willing to build with you, I've seen lots of creations made by multiple players who were friends that turn out absolutely awesome. So I highly recommend you can build with a friend if you can. You will definitely get some amazing and beautiful results. Okay guys, there you go. There were some really helpful tips for building in RoVille and Bloxburg. Like I said, a lot of these tips are interchangeable for both games, so use the tips regardless of which game you're building in. Anyway guys, I hope this video helps you be a better, faster, and more efficient builder. Thank you so much for watching. If this video did in fact help you or you enjoyed, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Goodbye everyone. Because the building systems, you really don't need a very far rendered distance. Another cool painting system in RoVille, to be honest, kind of still sucks and is not very user friendly. One good example of this is pressing in addition, there are keys for the paint tool as well. In addition, another thing you can do if you don't want to have to move your mouse because you're holding an item exactly how you want it. And you can actually build some amazing Unfortunately, guys, I still have no tricks to make loading, going places to and from your house faster in Bloxburg. Teleportation still takes just as long here. Okay, guys, there you go. There were some absolute... Hello, everyone. It's James Chamberlain, and today I've got a Hello, everyone.